what have we learned? At this point, we've learned that there are a number of items in a first aid kit. We've learned what each item looks like. We should be able to recognize each item, and we should know the purpose of each item in the event that we had to use it. At this point, we're going to go through a little exercise where I'm going to give you a definition, and after reading the definition, upon raising your hand, please, just please let me know what item fits the definition. So let's begin. Fill in the blank. A blank is a device used to protect a wearer's entire face or part of it from impact hazards such as flying objects and road debris, chemical splashes, or potentially infectious fluid. Anyone? That's right. A face mask. A face mask, as you see here, you should be able to identify this if you ever saw it in a first aid kit or in an examination that we may have later. Fill in the blank. A blank, also called a sticking plaster, is a small dressing used for injuries not serious enough to require a full-size bandage. Again, remember to raise your hand, but you're right. An adhesive bandage, better known as a Band-Aid, we're all very familiar with. Fill in the blank. A blank is an adjunct used by a person for application to a wound. Remember, application to a wound to promote healing and or prevent further harm. Yes. Again, a sterile dressing. Sterile dressing used to apply directly to a wound and not to assist the dressing. Fill in the blank. A blank is a piece of material used either to support a medical device such as a dressing or a splint, or on its own to provide support to the body. You should know this one. That's right. A bandage. A bandage can be used to support a dressing or applied directly to the body in the event of a strain or sprain. Fill in the blank. A sterile blank is used to wash out eyes or small cuts, and I think I just gave it away. Now go ahead and give you this one, saline. Saline, again, is used to help clean wounds, wash out eyes. You'll find this in pretty much every first aid kit. Fill in the blank. Blank are very versatile. Again, remember that word, versatile. They're used to cut away clothing from the wound area as well as cut bandages, etc. That's right, scissors, very easy. Fill in the blank. Blank are disposable and used during medical examinations and procedures that help prevent contamination between caregivers and patients. The key here, between caregivers and patients. Remember the example I gave you earlier? That's right, Mike Tyson, boxers. You want to wear medical gloves whenever you're in a situation where you may come in contact with an open wound. You want to prevent infection from one person to another. Fill in the blank. Blank can be applied as cooling, soothing application used for cleaning hands and instructions and for the disinfection of the skin. This is a tough one because it actually sounds like something else. Anyone? I'll admit it is kind of tough. I'll give you this one. It's alcohol. Alcohol, again, you may find in your very own medicine cabinet, and you use it for the same purpose that we be using it in a first aid kit. Again, remember, in a warehouse, you never know what's going to happen. Being the industrial maintenance supervisor, you have to have the tools to treat anyone that may be a victim. So what have we learned? We've learned that these are items that may be included in a first aid kit. At this point, you should be able to recognize, identify each item, and know its purpose. Again, just to go back to our performance objective. When we began, we said that we wanted to be able to, with given the items included in a standard first aid kit, the learner will be able to identify each item and purpose with 100% accuracy. And again, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep stressing 100% accuracy. You need to know what each item is in the first aid kit. You're going to need to know how to use each item in the first aid kit. That's the only way you're going to be able to help people. If you're going to be the one there with the safety information on how to treat injuries, you're definitely going to have to need the know-how. Uh, this pretty much brings our session to an end. Are there any questions on anything that I've covered today? Yes, sir. Please go right ahead. Okay, well, you're exactly right. Each first aid kit may be different. Depending on what arena you're going to be in, different items may be in the first aid kit that they feel will be necessary to treat injuries that they may associate with their particular environment. For an industrial maintenance supervisor, these items, and maybe more that we'll discuss later, would be involved in the first aid kit. That's an excellent question. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm sure that's something that we just needed to discuss. Any more questions? Okay. All right, well, at this point, we're going to be having an examination. We're going to be covering the items located in the first aid kit. There's going to be a series of matching, where you're going to have to take the item's picture, match it up with the definition, and then there's going to be a fill in the blank section where you're going to have to be able to put the item fill in the blank for the definition of the item without the picture. So that's going to be able to lead us to our purpose of being able to recognize, identify, and know the purpose of each item. All right, well, this certainly, again, brings us to the end. If there aren't any more questions, you're free to go. Please remember that when you get home, the test will be online, and it needs to be in by midnight. Again, I'm Alonzo McConney, and this is Industrial Maintenance 101. You guys have a good evening.